Hey, everybody, 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 what's up? Everybody, 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 what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Come judge for me. 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 I'm sorry. Y'all, ever since Pose, I cannot get that out of my head. Come judge for me. Come judge for me. I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all, this is 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Hope y'all are doing well. Please don't forget to become a Patreon or a member. You can sign up here on YouTube and become a YouTube member, or you can go over to Patreon and go ahead and decide how much you want to give to your girl. All right, it's all up to you, but it is appreciated either way. Thank you. And for all of you who give to my Cash App and my PayPal on a regular basis, I love you. I appreciate you as well. So you guys, let's start with Rebecca and Zied, okay, who are in Tunisia. All right, now I don't know how many times people got to go to Tunisia for these people to realize that Tunisia is not America. And you can't do what you want to do just because you're an American in Tunisia. Like, just be respectful of people's cultures. Like, that just irks my spirit so much that they go to these countries and there's like this really arrogant American thing that I can bring who I am to wherever I go, and people just have to deal with it. And it's just like, ma'am, are you serious right now? Okay, so Rebecca and Zied. So she meets his soccer friends who like Americans in the movies. Okay, so they have a very stereotypical picture of Americans, and from the pictures, they mentioned that they thought that Rebecca would be younger. Even though they knew that she was in her 40s, seeing her without all the Snapchat filters is quite jarring for them. So they asked how old she is, to which she was taken aback. And I'm like, why? Why were you taken aback by that? Talking about in America, a boy would never ask her that. Bullshit. Yes, they would. So when she says she's 47 and that she's old, then they want to see her tattoos, and she takes off her jacket to show off the and rolls up her sleeves so you can see her sleeves, and they ask how much the tattoos were. Just asking way too many questions that they shouldn't be asking, to be honest. Like, it's none of your business. Why are you asking me all these questions? Like, that was too much to me. But she tells them her sleeves cost like, what, $3,000 an arm. And they were like, oh my God, you can open a store with that money. It's like, you can do a lot of stuff with that money here too. But she choosing to get a tattoo with it, okay? Like, what is that about? I can't stand when people tell you what you can do with your money, but it must have been just a comparison of how much that could go, or how far that type of money could go in Tunisia versus America. Fine, granted, I'll give you that. But those young men were irking my spirit, working on my nerves. One of the guys hopes that he can meet an American woman who will take care of him, because it seems as if Rebecca is going to take care of Zied. Then later on, Rebecca and Zied are getting ready to go out on the town to go to a bar. And she wants to put on a like lace lingerie type of shirt. It's not lingerie. It's a black shirt. Her breasts are covered. She's given a little cleave and her arms are out, right? He says that is not appropriate. This is not America. This is Tunisia. You cannot wear that. Already, they don't want women to have tattoos. People don't have tattoos like that, at all. And then for a woman, like, women aren't even allowed to do that apparently. So he's asking that she change her clothes. Well, because she wants to be so defiant and act like a child, she doesn't want to change her clothes. And she tells him that, I don't want to argue with you, but I'm not changing my clothes. Just put your shoes on. We're going to go. I'm not going to change my clothes. I'm going to put on my jacket and we're going to go. And he's upset about it. He's very upset about it, but they still go out. Now, at first, I'm feeling like, so is this a cultural thing? When she goes out with her arms out, will she be harassed? Will people bother her, right? This is what I'm thinking about. But when they get to the club and they sit down and they're starting to have this conversation, which we thought they were having like in a corner on their own, but really they're sitting right next to like 4 or 5 other people. It was very awkward to me. The guy who is sitting next to her starts to stare at her when she decides that she's going to take her jacket off, because this argument has proceeded into the club, and he's trying to explain to her that when people here see you with your arms out like that, they're going to think that you're not a good woman. And she's like, how does a jacket make a difference? How does this make a difference? How does this make a difference? Me with a jacket or without a jacket? How does it make a difference in whether I'm a good person or not? And then the dude who's sitting next to her is just kind of like staring at her, just staring and staring. And Zied is like, what are you looking at? Like, what are you looking at? Stop looking at her. And dude was like, I like her tattoos. What's your problem? Like, I'm looking at her tattoos. So it wasn't even coming from a place of aggression, but he was staring. okay? But it didn't seem like anybody was going to snatch her up and kick her out of the club. So I feel like this is coming from a place of jealousy and control as far as the Ed is concerned. It's not actually coming from a place of Rebecca's safety. At least that's the way it seemed in this scene. That nobody was really bothered by how she was dressed but him, okay? But that was like the first time somebody glanced at her. Who knows what would have happened as time went on if he would have just let it go. But he starts to flip out. He's about to fight with the guy. The guy does not care. The guy is like, you're not about to tell me what to look at. You're not about to tell me what to do. I'll look at what I want to look at. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Security comes over. Dude, what are you doing? So it's like all of this hoopla going on at the club, and now Rebecca feels as if she's seen a side of him that she didn't know, and she doesn't know if she's comfortable anymore. And it's like, you could have just put on a different shirt. I guess. I mean, look, if I was in America, this wouldn't even be up for discussion. And he said that it's not about him controlling her. If they were in America, women dress like that usually. But here, women don't dress like that. So when you're dressing like that, you're now making the people around think less of you, which is different. And I understand that. But a part of this felt like him being a controlling man. Now, here's my thing. She's fighting it so hard because she doesn't want it to be like her previous relationship with that guy from Morocco who she married. Fine. My problem is, why do you continue to seek out men who have these types of ideals, these types of social standards? This is what they expect of women. You continue to seek out these men and date them and go to the countries where they tell you this is what the life is like. Why do you continue to do that if you don't want to abide by their standards as Muslim men? Why do you do that? Why won't you just go and find somebody who is like-minded, who is equally yoked, who is a regular, person? And I don't mean regular like a Muslim person can't be regular, but I just mean not so deep into a religion or a standard like that. You can find somebody in another country that doesn't feel that way. But you constantly find people in these areas of the world where that is their mindset. I don't understand, Rebecca. You knew this before going there. So when you get there and you don't want to respect what their social standard is, it is a arrogant American thing, and it irks me, period. So y'all, Timothy the little lesbian, look at him, little big head, looking like Jimmy Neutron. He's going to Colombia to meet Jennifer. And we finally meet Jennifer, and y'all, I can't stand when women work out either in makeup or with their hair long like that in their face, because who does that? When you work out, don't you tie your hair back or up or out of your face because you don't want to sweat and then have your hair be wet and sweaty all in your face? This bitch is putting on a full-on workout commercial DVD right now for us, okay? Okay, look, working out is very important to her. I respect that. Okay, she has a great body. Beautiful girl. Way prettier in person than she is on those pictures. Okay, well, not in person, but in film. Either way, she is a model. She has a daughter that she loves to pieces, and she don't have time for the bullshit, okay? She feels like Tim could be the guy. He has money. He can take care of her. He's cute, all of this here. But she feels like if he is not going to respect her, then this can be over, okay? So there's always a person in the relationship that is further along in their expectation and their feelings than the other person. And it's obvious that Timothy feels more strongly about making things work with Jennifer than Jennifer feels about Timothy, okay? She says she's never dated an American man, but she saw the Ferrari and she fell in love. She also likes that family is important to Tim because of her daughter. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like Jennifer, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna like her at all. He gets there. She picks him up from the airport with her daughter. They don't kiss on the mouth, but they kiss on the cheek and they hug. And he has this really huge teddy bear for her daughter, and that just melt her heart. He's shoplifting a pootie. Okay, Jerry Maguire reference. If you don't know about it, find out about it. Okay, because if you haven't seen Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Okay. But either way, she is definitely feeling him because of the way he is responding to her kids. So they get in the car, they're traveling. It's a small car. He's like all bunched up into the side. I told y'all he Jimmy Neutron head. So that head is like banging up against the side of the car. And she's like, why aren't you paying more attention to me? And I'm guessing that a Latin man would be basically trying to finger her in front of her kid, right? Like, y'all are in the car. He's probably tired. Like, hold hands, have casual conversation. Give it a fucking break already. But her intensity level is already like making me feel like this might be more trouble than it's actually worth. Okay. Of course, they eventually get to the conversation of his ex Veronica and why he needed to call her as soon as he got there. And he was like, well, she dropped me off at the airport. She asked for me to let her know that I got here safely. And I'm like, why you couldn't just text her and say that you got there safely? Why did you need to share that with Jennifer? Okay, I don't even understand that. But Tim is still hiding something from Jennifer. And if she's pissed off about information she's already known about, who knows how she's going to feel about something she don't know about at all. We don't know what he's hiding, okay? We don't know what little Tim is hiding, but we are worried, okay? She clicked out on him about Veronica, called Veronica, say she was dressing like a slut. And he was like, well, I wouldn't say she was dressing like a slut. Like, that's a bit much. And it's like, dude, like, there needs to be more checkage than that. She feels like she has the upper hand. She's going to disrespect you and cross boundaries because she feels like she can. You gotta slap that shit back into place. See, like, women like her need somebody that's gonna be like, say, bruh, nah. I can get back on a fucking plane if it's gonna be like this. Like, you have to put your boundaries out there and let them know they're not running shit. Because if you do, they'll take you for everything you were. And Jennifer looked like the type. But she shuts him down and tells him that she don't want to talk anymore. I say, girl, go on somewhere with this. So, y'all, Ben tells his son Grayson that he's going to Kenya, and his son asks if he's coming too. And Ben says no. Ben is protecting his son by not telling him about Akini as of yet. He's hoping that being a stepmom won't be too much for Akini, all right? He's still worried about having to pay the bride price because he doesn't know if he has enough money for whatever that bride price might be, because he won't find out until he actually gets there. So I don't understand why he's emotional leaving the airport. Like, you're by yourself, Ben. What's happening, honey? Okay, he crying and shit. So then, we see Akini. Her name is Iskar Akini. And the reason why Ben only calls her Akini is because that is the only thing that he can pronounce. She lives with her parents and her siblings in Kenya, okay? She's carrying shit around her head. I was like, okay, strong sister. He's not normally her type. She would go for tall, dark, and handsome. He's white and he's American, so she assumes that he's rich, which is a terrible assumption. But based off of their economic situation, I guess he might be rich. She don't think he's rich. She think that he can take care of her better than the lifestyle that she currently has. That is what it is, okay? She says that her dad is a hard person to please, and he feels as if white people are a problem. I'm like, in Africa, they damn sure are, okay? Her sister even says that once he meets the family, like, that's it. There's no going back after that. You're marrying this person once you have introduced them to your family in Kenya. Also, he has to befriend her brother because her brother has to speak to the father on Ben's behalf. So it's a lot of like intricacies about the family dynamic that has to happen in order for this engagement, relationship, marriage to take place. All right. She talks to one of her friends about not really being ready to be a stepmom. I think that's going to be the issue in their relationship because he is expecting that of her and she's not ready for all of that. And she even says that she would rather be a friend to the child. She doesn't know if she's ready to be a stepmother. And I feel like that's a situation that can happen organically, but the person has to be open and there have to be boundaries set in place. And she is worried. She says, I know that if it comes down to me or his son, he will choose his son. And I'm like, as he should. As he should. Okay? But she goes to pick him up at the airport and he comes out. And they run up to each other, and it's right into the kiss. And it was like, ooh. Like a charade wiggle, bitch. I was like, okay, Ben. Okay, Ben. Like, I like Ben, y'all. I feel like Ben might be geeky and nerdy, but he's not thirsty. He doesn't seem thirsty. He seems to have a type. Okay. And he seems to be very realistic about chemistry. He was like, if there's no chemistry, then, this is over. Like, but as soon as they saw each other and started kissing, there was definite chemistry. And, his hair was soft and, softer than hers. She liked that. Okay. The difference between white people hair and black people hair. Jesus Christ. And she didn't expect him to be as tall as he was. He was taller than her, so she was happy about that. So she even admitted, she was like, I was very happy because there was some chemistry there. And I'm like, okay, y'all are feeling each other. Y'all, the kiss made me feel like they was feeling each other. That kiss was like, we didn't kiss before. That looked like a kiss that we didn't kiss before, okay? I was like, all right, y'all might actually like each other. We gonna see. So, y'all, Darcy and Tom. Y'all, what is wrong with Darcy? Darcy is just hell-bent on embarrassing herself at every cost. We took her back with Jesse, but obviously Jesse was correct about this alcohol problem that she has. Because Darcy was actually disappointed in what she saw from Tom. She was disappointed in how he looked. And instead of taking that on as, look, he'll be all right. Like, as soon as you realize that you're the more attractive person in the situation, your confidence level needs to shoot up to the roof. But it didn't happen with Darcy. Darcy just continued to drink until she turned into a sloppy, emotional fucking mess, okay? He takes her back to the house that they're supposed to be staying in. And y'all know she's upset that they're not going to stay in the same room. So she's going to try her best to hold her way into having him sleep in her bed. And she says that they have great chemistry. She's lying to herself about this chemistry. Because he is actually turned off by all of the tears and emotions for no damn reason whatsoever, okay? Tom says that Darcy wears her emotions on her sleeve, which is different for him. He says it must be an American thing. I said, no, it is not. It is a lush, alcoholic, insecure woman thing. That's what it is, okay? Darcy starts to cry because she's never been treated so nice before. And Tom is like, wait, this isn't standard in America or something like that? Please don't tell me you're going to cry every time I do something nice for y'all, you know, bitch? Like, okay, Lord have mercy. She tells him that he didn't have to pull out her chair and he was doting over her. And I was just like, oh my God, Darcy, you acting like he just bought you a house because he pulled out your chair. I don't understand. Tom doesn't understand either. He's like, you're beautiful, you're intelligent. Like, why wouldn't someone value you? Why do you feel that, it's a surprise when someone values you? I mean, the fact that she doesn't value herself and is constantly looking for validation through outside sources is just so exhausting for a 46-year-old woman, 44, however old this bitch is. She needs to go to therapy. She don't need another man. She don't need another relationship. She needs therapy. Okay, and to put down the bottle, okay? So she doesn't like the bedroom that he has for her in their cute little Airbnb that he got for her. So they go up to his room and she's like, oh, you got the master. And she falls down on the bed and then shows her little ass cheeks and tells him that she doesn't want to sleep in the bed alone and then that room is cold. And he was like, well, would you rather switch rooms? And she was like, no, I just don't want to sleep alone. And it's just like, Darcy, you're a 44-year-old fucking woman. Sleep in your own bed for the first night if that's what that man wants to do. The thirst is real. And then they go to sleep, wake up. She's in his shirt like they slept together, but they did not. And she was obviously upset about that because sex makes her feel like people are into her. So if she hasn't had sex, then she doesn't know if he's into her or not. And then in the middle of the night, she punched him in the face and there was blood all over the sheets and he had a bloody nose because she punched him in his sleep. And she was like, well, how come you don't have like a bruise on your nose? And it's like, girl, nobody gets bruises when they get punched in the nose. Like, their nose bleeds. They don't get bruised on the nose. Like, it's not a black eye. Like, what's wrong with Darcy? Like, what's wrong with Darcy? She knows that she had too much to drink, but she likes the fact that he took such good care of her. Meanwhile, this man is getting exhausted by the moments. So he takes her on like this really beautiful boat ride in London, in the river or whatever, the water in between all of their buildings and stuff is very beautiful. And they have a conversation about if this relationship is exclusive. Tom says that he told his women that things are off with them because he wants to figure out what's going on with Darcy. And Darcy comes to the realization that their relationship is in a different place than she thought because he's like, this is just date number 2, Darcy. Like, chill out. And she seems to think that they were going to get married because they've been talking online for 4 years. And it's like, But Tom is an actual human being who realizes that just because I know someone online does not mean I know them in real life, and that we should still date like regular fucking people so that I can make sure you're not a psycho. Because if I would have fell in love with you and wanted to marry you off of conversations we had online, I would have no idea that you was such a fucking crybaby. I just feel like Tom is already tired of Darcy. I saw that they were calling him a perpetrator online for posting fake pictures trying to act like he's rich when he's really not, and that he actually lives with his parents, which is why they got an Airbnb. Darcy has to stop having such low standards. Just because someone is from England doesn't mean that they're debonair and they're so much better than an American man. You really need to grow up and go to therapy, Darcy. This is just sad at this point. Your children have more self-confidence than you do. Avery, Omar, and Avery's mom. Y'all, something is wrong with Avery's mom. They go shopping for the wedding dress, and she doesn't like the fact that they need Omar's approval. Is it okay for you to see her in the wedding dress before the wedding? It's like, oh my God, girl. You know how many times people have gone by all of those stupid fucking traditions and their marriages have ended terribly? Okay, so go ahead somewhere with all of that. But the first dress she tries on, he felt like it was too tight. And so then they put on another dress. And in all honesty, regardless to the fact that she was completely covered up, the dress was gorgeous. I mean, it was stunning. And he picked that dress out and he was like, that's perfect. That's the dress right there. It was a beautiful dress. So then they go out to eat. And the mom is trying to convince Avery to have some wine. And Omar is like, say, bro, don't do that. And she's like, Mom, I told you I don't drink. And he's like, that's bad for you. That's bad for your body. And she's like, it's not bad in moderation. And then she makes a comment in the confessional saying when she was younger and she couldn't drink, she would happily take alcohol from me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought Avery was 19. If you're 19, you can't legally drink anyway. Mom, why are you trying to convince your 19-year-old daughter to drink and dress more provocatively because that's what makes you comfortable? Don't get me wrong. My cousin became a Muslim, okay? And it was like, huh? You know, we all kind of grew up Catholic. So, you know, and there's no shade to that. A lot of us are no longer like directly Catholic. We may go to church, but we don't have those same, you know, real solid beliefs like other Catholic people might have. You know what I'm saying? Like we believe in looking in other forms for our spirituality. You know what I'm saying? As far as me and my mom and stuff like that. Okay. But I remember, you know, it's a weird feeling because it's like, okay, like, does that mean that you feel a different way about women than you were raised to feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you know, have dominion over, like, you know, there were a lot of questions. But at the end of the day, that was still my cousin. When I talked to him, that's still my cousin. So whatever he chooses to do is his decision. Obviously, he's a grown-ass man. However he wants to live his life is his decision. But initially, it definitely was like, so how does this fit in with the way we were all raised together by all women? Like, that was how I started to think about it. So do you now feel like women are less than because you're, you know, like that's what my mind came to. But when we, you know, talk to each other and everything, it didn't feel like that at all. It just felt like the same cousin that I've always had. But like I said, my cousin's a grown-ass man, so there's a difference. Who Avery is a child and seems to be trying to gain some type of stability. And I will say that I feel like my cousin sought out Islam or being a Muslim because of the lack of stability in his childhood. I feel like it's the same thing with Avery. And that mom trying to like basically peer pressure her into doing things that she doesn't want to do also makes me feel like that mom wanted to be a friend instead of a mother at some points, which is why she went off the deep end with having sex and drinking and doing drugs. And now you're trying to get your daughter to do something that she doesn't want to do anymore, which isn't good for her anyway. At the end of the day, like, yes, it may be strict, it may be over the top for a lot of Americans, but if Avery has decided that this is the way that she wants to correct all of the mistakes she feels that she's made until she gets to a place where this is not what she wants to do anymore, I feel like everybody needs to leave her to have the room to figure it out for herself. At the end of the day, you can't say that there's actually something bad about her not wanting to drink and not wanting to show all of her body anymore. Like, if she doesn't want to be that anymore, let her go through the motions. She's 19. And that mom trying so hard to persuade her in the opposite direction to the point where you're like trying to make your daughter drink when she obviously used to have an issue in that area. It just makes me feel like something is wrong with that mom. And something happened in the childhood that made Avery feel like she needed some type of structure and stability, which Islam and being a Muslim woman will definitely give you structure. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I was picking up from the way she was handling it. And Omar is like, that's not healthy. That's not good for your body. It's not good or healthy to drink or smoke. And she's like, yes, it is in moderation. I'm going to get a Long Island iced tea. And it's like, all right, mom, whatever. But if Omar doesn't want his wife to drink and his wife decides that she doesn't want to drink once that happens, all of this is unnecessary. Like, she just was very bothersome to me. So then she pulls out all these questions about being a Muslim wife that she found online. It says you can hit my daughter if she's lewd, and it says that you can leave her and that she is a prisoner, and all of this type of stuff. And this is all crude shit. And he starts to like giggle and laugh because he's like, this is hadith. This is not the Quran. This is hadith. This is the prophet's message. This is not what is in the Quran. Now, I'm not well versed on it, but I feel like there are a lot of Muslim people who don't believe in beating or killing their wives because of something that's in a book. You know what I mean? But they still pray at the time that they're supposed to pray. They go through Ramadan. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a good part and a bad part that people follow, just like in Christianity. I don't care what anybody says. There's a whole bunch of fucked up stuff in Christianity that they tell y'all to do, but nobody wants to use that as an example when they're trying to make, people from Islam and Muslim people look like bad people. There are extremists in all religions. In every facet, there is an extremist. And I feel like it's unfair that people tack that on to them as if, Christians didn't do all kind of fucked up shit throughout the years. Like, are you kidding me? But he assures them that because Avery is nice to him, he would not hit her. It was just a joke, but he promises that he would not. Avery wants to make sure that she's going to be the only wife, since it is okay for him to have multiple wives. And he says, one wife. Fine, all right, fine, one wife. It don't really sound like, he was too sure about that. But either way, that's a discussion that they will have. He doesn't come off like he is going to be some mean, controlling man, but there is something behind the eyes that I would be worried about if I were her. And even though the mom is probably right about how Avery will eventually decide to not be told what to do by Omar at some point, because she is a strong personality, you can never really tell. And you need to let your daughter go through the motions and figure out what she wants to do for herself without all of the peer pressure from you, mom. Okay? So, y'all, Caesar. Let's get to Caesar. Caesar is eating mama noodles, y'all. I was like, all right, Caesar, get the mama noodles popping with your broke ass. Paying all this girl bills, all of these plane tickets, and up in his house as a grown-ass man doing feet, but eating mama noodles because he has to, not by choice, okay? So depressing. He has not talked to Maria at all, and it's time for him to get on the plane and go to Mexico. She has not answered any text messages, but it's obvious she's read the messages. So she's ignoring him, even though it's time to go to Mexico and he's bought this ticket and spent all his little last ducats on this girl, okay? He gets to Mexico and the producers are like, so has she answered any of your phone calls and text messages? She still ain't answered nothing. So he's in Mexico now. He has no idea if she's coming, but he's going to keep the faith. The producer said, why are you continuing to be so positive when she hasn't been answering any of your texts? And he's like, it's faith. It's faith. I said, no, it's not. It's ego. It's ego. I'm going to tell you why it's ego. Because only the ego of a man, knowing that this woman in real life would want to have nothing to do with you. Look at this woman. You know she's going to want a certain type of man. And you don't fit that description. First of all, Caesar, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, baby, but you're not that attractive. Okay, y'all right. I don't want, try to make you feel bad or nothing like that. But compared to the blind bombshell that you're sending texts and pictures to, let's be real, she's out of your league. And you're totally ignoring that. Because that, if you would be paying attention to the fact that you were out of this woman's league, then maybe you would realize that she was catfishing you and taking money from you while it's a job for her to get money from all of you stupid ass men who all she has to do is text and send video messages to for y'all to send y'all whole damn livelihood to her. Y'all are stupid. But y'all want to feel that some woman that looks like that is going to want you. So even if it's a lie and you know deep down inside it's a lie, you're going to go along with it because your ego tells you that it feels good for a woman like that to want your yamp ass. Like young tramp. Okay, look. Okay? I look at Caesar like you deserve it. I know everybody wants us to feel bad for him, but I just don't. I've had it up to here. Because y'all fetishize women. It's not about a relationship. It's not about being in love with somebody. It's not even about being romantic. It's about finding a sex doll that you find attractive to throw money at and make them do what you want them to do. That's what it's about. And I feel like to a certain degree, Maria knows that's how men see her. So even though y'all love me and all of that, y'all don't really love me. When she told him you're doing all of this for you, there's some truth in that. This is about me being, some sex doll or some trophy for you. This is not about me because you don't even really know me. Okay? I'm telling y'all, there's some realness in that shit that Maria was saying to him because that's how she really feels. But that's also how she threatens them to get the money out of them. And he just keep on going along with it no matter how many times people laugh at him and tell him that he being stupid. But yeah, y'all, that was 90 Day Fiancé. I had to unplug my phone. That was 90 Day Fiancé. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the next one.